Right then, so a little bit more then from our day at Sync Energy. We've done a video this morning on the HEM system. We've now got Jason here. Jason has already installed one of these chargers out in the open. Done a couple here, I think you say?
Yeah, I think there's been a few installed here so we could do like rigorous testing. This is on top of the testing and type approval that they have to go for. We tend to fit a couple actually on site, on the Seco site,
obviously,
site, so they can use them and abuse them just to make sure that 100%, everything's bang on.
But you've actually installed one for a paying customer. First one in the UK, we think.
First one in the UK last week, went out to a paying customer last week. Literally, and it was nice as well because it was literally like within about 300 metres of where I live.
So great.
Bit of traffic,
so great.
It was good. But these chargers, unlike any other charger that's out there, and it's been, some people have spoke about this before, some people haven't, but it's been a common thing. You know, we take a supply from your consumer unit fuse board, whether that be an outside fuse or whatever, You get a supply to your car charger and all of the gubbins, all, if you like, the EV technology is inside that car charger.
Which is 9 times out of 10 outside,
in the elements.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, all the car chargers out there are suitably IP rated and everything, but you know what I mean. So I think what they've done here at Sync Energy is thought out the box a little bit and...
Pardon the pun.
Yeah, exactly. Think out the box. But they've probably taken that in 2 stages a little bit. This is my interpretation. Again, I'm not speaking for Sync Energy or anything. I'm
No.
But
You've installed one.
I've installed one. And I think, to be honest with you, it's a bloody well good idea. I personally think they've killed 2 birds with 1 stone on this, if we're allowed to say that. You know? Not that we're going to kill any birds.
We don't want the RSPB on our backs.
No animals, cats, dogs or birds were harmed in the making of this.
Of this video.
But what that's allowed them to do, I think, is keep all of your EV technology and overcurrent protection and RCC protection in a small consumer unit.
Okay, let me just get in on that then.
Yeah.
So what Jason's talking about there, as you can see here, it looks as though we've got a 40 amp RCD incomer.
Yeah, which is A-type, and that's going to give you your RCD protection. You've got surge in here, and then you've got your overcurrent protection built in here. Now then, all this stuff at the top here, inside this consumer unit, which I must add as well is it's all metal and it's IP rated, so it can go inside the house or it can go outside the house. It's suitably IP rated. But all of your EV technology is effectively in this box. Yeah,
absolutely. Right, okay. So from what you're saying there, that the charger and everything is built into there.
This.
Yeah, and we'll come to it in a minute, but the plug that goes on the outside.
Yeah, so what we do, can I just add as well, so you can actually feed this. So it's quite often as an installer, you'll go to a job where they've got an old board which hasn't got suitable surge protection or whatever, and you've got to fit a small fuse board at the side on there to make sure that everything that we're doing complies with the current regulations. So what we can do, we can either feed this from an existing fuse board, this.
So drop it on a 50 amp breaker for
or whatever, or you can come directly off the tails.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can have the tails feed directly coming into here.
Okay.
Yeah. You've got your tamper switch, magnetic tamper switch as standard anyway,
So if someone opens the lid...
Oh yeah, automatically shuts off. As I say, with all the regs for all of any existing car chargers. Yeah. CT connection in here, CT connection in there. You get a little like green plug in your accessory pack. You just plug your CT connections there. That goes onto your main tails then to sort out all your load management, or if you've only got a 60 amp fuse or an 80 amp fuse, you can set all that up in the app. Dead easy. And then what we do, we run either whatever size rated cable you'd use and a Cat5, or you can use like Doncaster cables or UK cables, use Ascent, any EV Ultra cable. We run this then from up to 50 metres, to, if you like, your charge point. I say that term loosely, your charge point, because this is your car charger where as opposed to a conventional car charger, like we can see, we've got some on the wall there.
Well, you've got one right behind your head there.
Oh, we've
Look,
got one
so this
right
is the
behind
Sync
your head.
Energy.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is that everything that's in that box there, this box, is actually inside here.
Is now inside
and the
the-
socket is obviously incorporated
Yes.
into this. But the point that we're making is that although this is a perfectly suitable enclosure...
And we fit loads and loads of these day in, day out.
Yeah, day out. Day in and day out. But what Sync have decided to do is to take the gubbins and put them in a separate box, and then what Jason's now got in his hand...
Right. So, for those customers that want a little bit more discretion,
Minimalist.
minimalistic. We were at customers the other day where we installed this, and he was adamant that well, his words, not mine, I don't want a big car charger with a lead wrapped round with it.
Yeah.
Because he lives in an area where he's right next to the canal. Not that, you know, these wouldn't look out of place, but as you know, every customer is different. So, you can get one now through Sync Energy. It's being released very, very soon. So literally, all that you have on the wall is this. And again, this can be 50 metres
Away
from
from-
where you've mounted your fuse box and EV technology box. And it's literally just a socket. And if I just take the lid off this, yeah. So there's two options. You've got a recessed version, yeah, i.e. core out, one course of brick, back entry into there, yeah, or you've got your surface mount, yeah, yeah. Now, the recessed, so if you imagine you've cored out, and my hand is where your brick is, yeah, that's it. So all that you have showing on there is literally that depth there. I haven't tightened the screws up just to show you. Is literally, that's about, I'd say that's about 40, 45 millimetres. Yeah. That is it.
That's superb.
That is it.
We love that. We love that. So instead of the box on the wall, which serves a purpose and does its job, that is minimalist.
That is it. So
That's
if I can
incredible.
sort of hold that against the table there, and you come on that side, Matt, I know it's a bit crude, but effectively, that is all you'd see.
That's great.
So this effectively is, if you like, an extension. There's a little bit more than that because you've got your control side of it. So if we have a look at what's in here, so yeah.
Yeah.
So live, neutral and earth there.
Then.
Yeah. And then you literally, on your Cat 5, Cat 6 cable or whatever cable that you're using, whether you're using Doncaster EV Ultra or using a twin and earth, if it's all internal in a separate Cat 5, you make an RJ45, I think it's an RJ45, and into there. And that does all the control side of it, i.e. your lock pin, and also rather than a standard light that comes on, and I think Sync Energy, blue means connected to Wi-Fi, all okay, you're connected to the network. Flashing blue means that it's connected to the vehicle, and waiting
to
charge,
charge.
or a command, for example, off the app, or a time schedule, and green when it's charging. This one circulates like that. So
Oh, lovely.
It goes round. So it looks quite pretty. Again, on the app, if you want something small, discreet, because that's what you want, and that's okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or it may be that you're forced, because of the environment where you live, there's an enforcement on what you can and can't have, and you can't have any visual. What they've done here, on the actual control side, built into the fuse board or consumer unit box, if you want to call it that controls all the EV technology, there's a light at the top.
Right.
Yeah. So this would be inside the house. Still all complies with the regs because we've got a visual, illuminated indication that the vehicle is in charge or awaiting charge and so forth. So we can do that. And on the app, you just choose what brightness you want, whether you want the light illuminated on the charge socket outlet or not, or whether you just want it solely on this unit.
That's brilliant.
For those that have installed car chargers, how many times you hold in the car charger, moving that wire, drilling the holes for it, yeah, to get your screws through, yeah.
Yeah, because it's a tethered one. And
It's a tethered one, or even if it's a socketed one, you're still doing it. You know, you've still got all that aggro to do. And then whether you use a Marksman, you know, them pen things that produce ink or a pencil. So what they do, and also then, you also got to, you're affecting the IP integrity of the unit. So you've got to seal it, then you put the little rubber plugs on the back. So what these have done for this, similar to the HEM system, you've got a small bracket. And if you have a look at that.
Yeah, so that's going to go on the wall.
That goes onto the wall.
So it's that way round, so it hooks on.
Yeah.
And you've got a grub screw up the back, have you?
So there's a hook there. So then this is on the surface mount one, obviously.
Yeah.
On the recess one, there's no need for that. That will literally be on the wall. That clips in, and there's a screw that holds it underneath.
So we've got a 240 volt AC input. It's, I'm guessing 7.2 kilowatt.
7.4, I think.
7.4.
7.4, I think, these ones off the top of my head.
You mentioned a CT clamp there. Can you explain to us what it's for and what it does?
Right, CT clamp. What do you need? Why do we need it? CT clamp connected into here and connected, if you're using any of their existing chargers, connected into charger, will then automatically see that that's reading close to what your DNO cutout fuse is, and it will regulate the current available to be drawn from the EV charger. Yeah. Obviously, once your cottage pie is ready, Matt, and you got out of the shower, you turn your oven off, turn your shower off, that current that your base load reduces, and that will then allow the output. And I think, if I remember right, that goes down to 6 amp. Don't quote me on that. I think it's 6 amp.
So one point really worth making.
Safety.
Some people will say, well, why do the EV chargers have to have this, but our shower doesn't, etc., etc.? The simple answer is we're expecting our EV chargers to be used for prolonged periods of time.
Yeah.
So that's the device that needs to give and take. So we can use the shower's going to be on, depends on who's going in the shower, but it can be on for 5 minutes, it can be on for half an hour, but it's not going to be on for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours.
And we've got no diversity. You can't, when we're designing the installation, if you've got an 8 kilowatt hob, you apply your calculations and your diversity. You
would have to have every ring on at full.
Oh yeah.
And so even then, when it's at temperature, no. But that's the answer is that obviously the reason why we look for this load management built into these chargers is because they are predominantly used for much longer periods of time than anything else.
And then this will then peak and fall depending on your load for your current house.